there, it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Well, and a tongue-tied Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. Apologies for that. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today I am going to show you how to make this little project. I think it would be perfect for jewellery, that sort of thing, any small gift. It's Subtle Sunday, so I am, as ever, limiting myself to the Subtles range. So this is using the Painted Harvest stamp set. It's Pink Pirouette. Let's have a look. So we've got Pink Pirouette, Wisteria Wonder and So Saffron for our flowers. And then I've used Wisteria Wonder for the base of the box. The box measures 3.5 inches square and is 1 inch deep. So as I say, perfect for a small gift, jewellery, that sort of thing. Obviously you could add a ribbon if you wished. There are quite a few in the Subtles range, but I like the fact that the sunflowers, the non-sunflowers, the flowers are the what's the word I'm looking for? The main feature. It's not the word I'm looking for, but it'll do. Anyway, so let's get started. I want this to be a reasonably quick project for you. Say Subtles range, so again, very Whisper White for the lid, and then Marina Mist for the base. So I have no idea how this is going to turn out, but we'll give it a go. So this is the larger of the two images. Now, it is slightly better if you use your piercing mat. Make sure it's one that you haven't pierced on. And I am going to cover it up so that I can stamp off without inking up my piercing mat. I'm going to start with Pool Party for the bigger of the two images. There's part of me that wonders if Soft Sky would be a better choice, but I like to risk it occasionally. So there have been lots of discussions on all sorts of forum about how to use this stamp set and whether or not it is working properly. And personally, I'm ignoring it all because it basically seems to work however you use it. There are all sorts of thoughts about lining up various bits of it. There is a very obvious curl here, which I'm kind of going with to a degree, but I'm not being overly worried about it. There is that, but it doesn't matter that much if you don't line it up. And as you can see, the image is kind of random. It's like an ink splodge. I think it's like one of those things that you would be asked to say, what do you think this is? So, yeah, it's kind of random. However, I'm not worried because I know it's going to work. It's one of those stamp sets. It's meant to look watercoloured. So let me bring this. You may or may not be able to see it. So I'm kind of, if I'm lining anything up, it's this little bit here, which goes with this little bit here. I've heard all sorts of, you've got to line this up and that up. I'm not really fussed, frankly, because it does kind of line up anyway. I mean, I'm going to try and line it up with that little lump. But, yeah, it's not the end of the day if it doesn't, because it just kind of works. Some of the colours work better together than others. I don't actually dislike this. I wasn't sure, but I think it's okay. And it is amazing how just putting the second layer on kind of sorts it all out in whatever colour scheme you're using. It just adds that extra, I don't know, je ne sais quoi. Apologies to anyone who is watching who actually speaks French, because I don't. Haven't got anything to line up there, so I'm not going to bother. So that's those bits, and then I'm going to use the So Saffron again for the centre, because we are limiting ourselves to the subtles range. And again, there is a kind of not really a right way and a wrong way. There is a slightly different shape on one side than the other, but it's not vital. And frankly, the moment you start putting the centres in, it all kind of just works. At least I think it does. And it's my project, so that's all right. Okay, so there was part of me that thought, you know what, I should be using Blushing Bride and Calypso Coral. I actually quite like that. So, scoring board in, because we are making a box. I will actually leave this to dry just a little while I do the base. Did I actually say how big this was? I didn't. That's stupid, isn't it? Right, okay, so the base, I say the box itself is 3.5 inches square. The base is 5.5 inches square. And we're going to score at 1 inch all the way around. The lid is slightly shorter. And I've cut this at 5 1/16 inches because that means you get a nice fit. That extra 1/16 of an inch means you're not having to faff around with bits of cardstock down the side of your scoring board so that it works. And all the dimensions will be on the associated blog post, including in good old metric, for those of you of a metric disposition. Right, okay, so scoring at 1 inch all the way around, and I always, for a box, would turn your cardstock. And the reason for that is that you then know absolutely categorically that that is 1 inch, and so is that. But if you don't cut your cardstock exactly the right size, you could end up with a slightly wonky box. So this I'm going to score at 3/4 of an inch, again all the way round, and I'm going to turn my cardstock. Now you could do this in the thick Whisper White, but I do think for this particular stamp in particular, do I need two particulars in one sentence? I don't think I do, but you've got them anyway. For this particular stamp set, I think it is better to do it on the smoother cardstock. It would be fine on the thick, but yeah. So I'm just, as you can see, burnishing all the way round. And then we will cut away and pop our box together. Right, okay, I'm not quite sure how good the light is because I am filming in kind of late afternoon and it's not the best of light, but actually, no, I think that's all right. So I'm going to wedge out and then cut. I'm cutting to the inside of the score line and then wedging out. And then I'm cutting to the inside of the score line and wedging it out. And again, I'm going to just wedge at the edge, and then I'll do the same again on the other side. So I cannot believe that we're almost at let's put the heating on time. This time last year was lovely. I know, because my Facebook timeline told me so. So I'll just do this while I'm at it, and I'm doing exactly the same thing. So yeah, I can't believe, I mean, we really have not had the most fantastic weather this summer, have we? It's because I've been not having to schlep up to the city. So because I could make the most of good weather, we haven't had any. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. Life's like that. I'm just going to have to suck it up. Someone said that they thought we were going to have a horrible winter this year. Well, so dare I say, if the summer is anything to go by. Fast fuse. Trick with fast fuse is to have a light touch, and then you have to break the tape. So I have done a Top Tip Tuesday on adhesives where I went through this, so do have a look at Top Tip Tuesdays if you want to see information about. I did all the adhesives actually, I haven't caught that properly. So yeah, right, just line the edge up with the fold line, and this is where, because we've scored on the inch turning the cardstock, we know that everything's going to line up. There's no nasty bits that are not quite the right size, and because we've wedged out, you get that nice clean line as well. So same again on these corners. Ooh, and I've picked up a stray bit of cardstock. Did I get that properly? No, I didn't. Don't want our box falling to pieces. With all our Tiffany jewellery, other brands are available. And again, just line those up. So yes, someone said there's only a very few Mondays left before Christmas. I think it was 15 Mondays before Christmas, which is slightly scary. Right, so there's our box lid and our box base and the moment of truth. How's that for a nice, neat little box? So there you go, two slightly different colourways for Subtle Sunday and certainly for flowers, but I like them. And it's my project, so that's all that matters. Although, having said that, I hope you like it too. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more, please hit the subscribe button, which is down there. And then you will be able to see when I post more videos. What else? There's the Merry Patterns stamp set giveaway on my website. Details of that are in the associated blog post. All the products that I've used will be linked below. As I say, dimensions are on the associated blog post, and the products that I've used are there too. So I hope you've had a very good weekend, and I will see you again very soon. Thanks a lot for watching.